Hello, my name is Caitlin Mai, and this is my life story. I was born to two loving parents and an older brother. His name is Kevin. Both my mom and dad have a lot of siblings, so in total, I have a big Vietnamese American family. So the first stage of my life was infancy. From birth to 18 months, I had to decide whether I trusted or mistrusted my parents, and I definitely feel like I trusted them. Not only did I have trust in my parents, but I also had trust in the doctors and nurses that helped to keep me here today. I was problematic from the beginning. To sum it up, I had eating and breathing problems, and because of this, I had to undergo a diaphragm surgery at around a month and a half. During this surgery, not only did they fix that problem, they actually discovered another problem with my heart, and it was very serious. If left undiscovered for too long, I could have potentially died, but here we are thriving, and this actually leads me to my next stage. Early childhood. From 18 months to 3 years, I had to figure out if I felt more autonomy or shame. You'd think that with someone that had to face birth problems off the bat, it would be hard to develop a sense of independence. But I think I set myself up for success from the moment that I could. Around 20 months, I had to get my second surgery to fix my heart problem. And it was actually kind of crazy because my mom claims that post-surgery, after I woke up, I immediately hopped off my bed with my IV stand in hand and just ran around smiling at everyone. And it literally looked like I was a normal kid for the first time in my life. The doctors were confused, my parents were confused, but I feel like that just sets up a great sense of who I am today. Erickson's focus for this stage is potty training. I don't personally remember how it went, but my mom told me that it went pretty well and I nailed it down around age 2. I knew after 2 surgeries I could do anything. I felt very safe and secure in my family as well as myself. Next stage in my life was my play age, when I was 3 to 5 years old, teetering between initiative and guilt. Because of my parents' work hours, I began preschool a couple years earlier than most kids. I found it hard to socialize with my classmates until my second year in preschool, so I would often throw a fit until the teachers had to call my parents to come get me early. Despite being shy at school, I was asserting power at home. As seen in the picture, I was developing my manipulation skills a little too well. I tended to take my brother's belongings, such as his Capri Sun. I think I was struggling to fit in at school because I knew my controlling behavior at home wouldn't apply the same in school. Moving on to my school age, from 5 to 12 years old, I started out feeling inferior because during elementary school, it felt like only weird kids packed cold lunches, me being one of them. My mom pestered me to eat hot lunch, but I wouldn't budge. As I grew, my inferiority turned into industry. Most people, including me, took the color card system seriously. I never wanted to hit red. The teachers liked me, so even though I talked a lot, I only got on red twice in my life. Socializing with classmates started to happen more after school. My best friend Kirsten came over to my house every weekend, and we would always Skype right after school till the night. Up next is the adolescent stage, which occurs from 12 to 18 years old. This is a big stage where you either get a better sense of your identity or develop identity confusion. Personally, I think I developed a stronger sense of self. With the help of YouTube, I was growing up to be a charismatic person, and I'd like to tribute my lively personality to Ryan Higa. He's a YouTuber who has never failed to make me laugh, and he has definitely made an impact on how I am today. In grade school, I remember acknowledging that I was ugly. I'd refuse to take photos, but I slowly started to develop an understanding that looks aren't everything, and this wasn't my forever face. And yes, God bless my jeans. The next stage is young adulthood. From ages 18 to 35, I further intimacy or isolation from the world. As I grow up, I definitely think I'm keeping my old school friendships strong. I may not talk to all of them daily, but we vibe just the same as back then. I think I will become more isolated during college though. Going to UNL, on track to be a nurse, that is a lot of hours and tears dedicated to studying alone. During the process of becoming a nurse, I meet a solid dude and we get married. I want a handful of kids, but during this time frame, we only have 2. I'm starting to get old, moving into middle adulthood. From the ages of 35 to 65, I feel more generativity rather than stagnation from my accomplishments. Nurse hours are long, but feel rewarding to help people in need. I wait for my vacation days to add up, so my family and I have a couple road trips when we can. On small slots of free time, I volunteer at a homeless shelter with my husband and our 5 kids. Late adulthood. My final stretch, from 65 to 100 years old. It's amazing how I've lived this long, considering how cancer and back problems runs in my family. Anyways, despite my chronic back problems, I'm happy with the life I've lived. Finally, I'm retired and just chilling with my husband and grandchildren. I'm for sure a top-tier grandma. My husband and I have definitely become that old couple who constantly argue, but at the end of the day, we love each other. I know if I could redo life, I wouldn't change a single step.